It's saying it's live.
Okay. There it is. Yep, I will post a link on the community tab.
Okay.
Yep, there it goes.
So we'll wait for a little bit before we get things started. Because for whatever reason, the PlayStation, every time I try to go in and sign out of one channel and into the other, it says no. So that's an issue. So tell your friends, tell everybody. THG's broadcasting on TEG today. I'll put this into the playlist I have for the NHL streaming, which I needed.
Okay.
I needed to update anyways, so. That being said.
I can post it on Discord too.
Okay. That all works. And then we'll get her going. I mean, it's posted automatically on Twitter through my Twitter feed, which is 11,200 approximately, so.
Okay.
It just sucks. It just will not let me switch users. It's like, no, not available. And then I looked at Twitch, and I don't have any followers, so I posted my Twitch on YouTube, and I can use Twitch here and there, but there's no option to actually make money doing that, and you got to do like a major build. So that's something I'll slowly build over time, but YouTube, it's a better bet. And then there's all kinds of filters and other issues we'd have too, because then there wouldn't be any filters. No, everybody's available to come back in and storm the chat. That could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
a lot of fun. And no mods right off the bat. We'd be the only mod. Yeah. Yeah, right off the bat, that's how it would work.
Okay.
All right. So,
so
pop open a soda pop.
On Patreon, on Discord, and on the community page.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Well, if at the very least it ends up getting the entertainment guys some extra subscribers, hey, the more the merrier.
We both have Nexus phones.
Yeah.
The Nexus phones are awesome.
Better than iPhones.
Oh, those are obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
I've had 3 Nexus phones now.
I think I've had 2.
Yeah.
Because you had one when I met you, and I don't think I got one until you upgraded.
Yeah, because you saw how awesome it was.
Because it was free.
You could choose
it was free with the
back when
contract.
Remember when phones were free with contracts?
Yeah, that was back when there were people, and you could go places and do things.
Remember that?
Good times. Good times. I remember. Boy, if you need member berries, now's the time. All right, so we got 40 people watching. That's probably about how far we're going to get with this one. So Entertainment Guy, it's a lot more relaxed and subdued of the live stream. All right, so we're going to get into St. Louis and Calgary. And, of course, I'm playing the games. I'm not simulating. And by playing, I mean I'm watching. I'm not playing, because if I was playing, then I wouldn't be. Well, you know what I mean. I wouldn't be live streaming while I'm doing that. So, all right, let's put Calgary in their heritage.
Okay.
And I'll put them in their heritage too. There we go. St. Louis and Calgary all set to go.
Okay.
Game 3, series tied at 1. We're all set to go.
Do you love that chicken from Popeyes? The chicken strips are tasty.
Yeah, they're good.
They're good.
They are definitely good.
Yeah.
So Vancouver. All right, I blew it right off the bat. Vancouver's not in this. I'm so sorry.
Inspired.
I'm done. All right, I'm going to leave. St. Louis and Calgary. Riddick's got a really good record going right now. 5-2-1, 1.76 goals against, 910 save percentage, and a shutout. Bennington's not nervous. 913 save percentage and a 5-3 record. There he is now. Tell him he's not nervous.
No.
You sure?
20 of your subscribers.
Oh, okay. Saying what the heck's he doing over there?
Yeah.
Why is he over there?
It's on the Entertainment Guy because Technical difficulties.
I couldn't log out of this account and log into the other one. So every time that I'm switching channels, I log out of one and log into the other. It wouldn't do it. So then I thought, well, I'll try Twitch. But I've never done anything on Twitch. So I've got to build up my presence on Twitch for it to be worthwhile. So I'll do this one on here, and hopefully by Saturday they've got this stupid thing figured out.
Usually
wow, he landed on his face.
A drop-down menu or something, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't a button.
Yeah, there's a way to log out and log in.
gone.
It's linked to other services, and it just wouldn't let me.
And then it
just
go a different
error,
route. It said
error,
try
error.
again later.
And it's not the PlayStation. It's not EA. It's just an error message. And I checked up on all the errors, and it kept saying you're probably not connected. No, I'm connected because I'm reading this. You moron. I've always hated that about internet error messages. Go, you're probably getting this because you can't connect. I read this on the internet when I did tech support. They used to say, whenever you get a customer calling through because they can't connect, make sure you give them these articles. And I'm like, wait, so somebody can't get online and you want me to give them an internet link? So you want me to taunt our customers? You want me to taunt our customers? You think this is going to go well for me? How?
What difficulty is the simulation on?
It's at superstar level, I believe. It's at superstar level. The game is played pretty well at superstar level, so I left it at that. Robert Thomas with the unassisted goal. Riddick kind of not bailed out by his defense there. So you see they're kind of not around. There's Hannafin looking the wrong direction. And first goal is for St. Louis, who are trying to establish themselves on the road in this one.
YouTube has been broken lately.
Well, I don't even know if it's necessarily YouTube or if it's something on the PlayStation. I tried turning it off, turning it on, because that's your first tech job. Did they try turning it off and turning it on? That's the thing. If it was a Nintendo, I'd be trying to do the blow on it routine, but no.
How's it going today?
It's not going too bad. When you start your day talking to Ryan Walter, everything after that feels kind of surrealistic. So, yeah, not too bad of a day. Nice block there. I don't know if it was intentional.
What do you think about Montreal next year?
A lot of good young kids. I think they're about a year away from potentially being a real contender. So probably not this season, coming up, but the year after. But I really like Caulfield, and that kid they got coming over, Romanoff. He sounds pretty good too.
Favorite jersey that everybody considers ugly.
Burger King.
Yeah.
The Burger King would be right near the top of that list for me.
The Flying V would be up there.
Oh, the Flying V is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Like hideous.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's really
I love that one.
easy to spot him in public. He wears that one.
Yeah, it's great.
Especially that yellow one.
And then I've got the Flying V hat too. So. And I've got shorts. I've got shorts that are Flying V too.
Yeah, he does.
So during the summer, I can go to be Flying V, head to toe. The only thing I need is Flying V shoes. I need to have Flying V shoes. That'd be amazing. And socks. And then we're all set. And then I could do the face paint, too. Have Flying V face paint.
Yeah, there you go.
People are like, where's the hockey game? What's he doing?
Would you consider doing this for a full season of game? Oh, my gosh. With a couple of legends mixed in to spice up the rosters. That would be so many games.
Once I'm done the playoffs of this one, so simulating the 2020 playoffs so we can find out who might have won the Stanley Cup, I intend to do franchise modes. There'll be a lot of simulating with that, but I plan to do live streams of franchise modes. And have some fun with it. Probably do like the Legends and a fantasy draft kind of thing.
How good is Cole Caulfield?
Caulfield's going to be a fantastic sniper. He really is. On the smaller side, that's why he dropped in the draft, but I think he's going to make some teams regret not picking him up.
Half of the Entertainment Guy subscribers probably don't even like hockey. That's not true.
I doubt it.
The entertainment people
it's mostly the same people.
Are also on the hockey channel.
Yeah, that happens with all YouTubers. Anytime a YouTuber starts up a secondary channel, most of the channel's subscribers on the secondary channel are the same as on the main channel.
Yep, most of the people that comment on TEG are from the hockey channel. And
I understand that. I'm not going to lose my roots and go off and decide that the 100 is going to be what makes me famous from here, because that's probably not going to happen. What a baffling show. I skipped like 5 episodes to get to the end of the fourth season. Unless they started killing everybody again. I'm like, oh, come on. What is it with halfway through the season, you're just going to kill everybody? Fine, I'll just go to the end of the season and we'll see who's not dead.
How do you think the NHL will handle the upcoming draft?
Apparently it's going to be a virtual draft, so they've announced it'll be a virtual draft. The same as what the NFL did, because the NFL got record ratings for that, and the NHL wants to make sure they stay relevant. That's the important thing. They're always going to be relevant in Canada, but south of the border, there are places where they need to make sure that their name stays out there.
If the Blues win, Shannon has to sing Gloria.
I did.
You did?
I did that last year.
You did.
And Gloria's not their song this year. They changed it. I forget what it was, but they've changed it this year. Gloria's not their song anymore.
You like the Lions more than the Wings simply because they don't win anything?
No, I've always liked the Detroit Lions, going back to when Sanders was their running back. And poor Sanders, he was sometimes just putting them on his back all by himself. I've always been a big fan of them.
For someone like me who only plays the sports games, is PlayStation better than Xbox and the other ones?
I've always leaned towards PlayStation. The reasons I was given for getting an Xbox always seemed to be around the exclusives, and there are some really good ones on Xbox, but when it comes to the NHL game, I prefer the PlayStation controller. I prefer the controls. And I've always been a PlayStation guy. I mean, I have an Xbox. I hardly ever touch it. So, because I have NHL 20 on the Xbox too, I believe. I think I have it on both.
Oh?
I think I have NHL 20 on the Xbox.
Oh, didn't it come with the Xbox?
I think so.
I think it came with the Xbox.
I think so. I play it on the PlayStation. And it'd be weird if we were doing live streams from our bedroom.
It would be really weird.
That'd be odd. I mean, I used to do it back in the old days, back in the old house, but I don't think I would do it now. That was when there was like 20,000 subscribers.
That's when we had no space.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear what happened to the CFL?
I know the CFL was asking the Canadian government for financial help between $30 and $120 million. They feel they need in order to have a season this year. They're very gate driven, so there's varying numbers. Like the NHL, 34% of their revenues are from gate, which means that the other 64% are from everything else. Which is why they're trying to salvage something of a season, because it'll salvage 60-some% of their money. But for the CFL, it's mostly gate revenues. They don't make that much from television.
Bolts move McDonough to get a first and lose cap money.
If Tampa Bay is gonna try to get cap money, I would think that either Palat or Gord would be the one that goes. I don't think they try to move McDonough. I would think it would be one of their forwards.
Will Nolan Patrick play again?
I sure hope so. So far it hasn't been that encouraging, but I really hope he does come back and play. Good play there by Jordan Binnington. Still 1-0 St. Louis in the second period, trying to go ahead on the Flames 2-1.
Blues song this year is Higher and Higher by Jackie Wilson.
Oh, okay. Well, at least it's not an 80s disco song.
How do you rate Draisaitl's defensive game?
It's in process. It's one thing that I think could hurt him when it comes to the Hart voting, and I still, he would be my pick for Hart, but there may be voters that look at his plus minus and that drags him down. As outdated a stat as that might be, his defensive game might be what ends up costing him a Hart, if anything did. That's the only thing I could see costing him the Hart this year, and even then, like I said, he would have my vote.
So if the season is canceled, do the Vancouver Canucks keep the first round this year? Also, are compliance buyouts on the table with the league losing revenue due to the pandemic?
They're trying to avoid compliance buyouts, depending on how they do it. So either you could have a situation where they decide, okay, we're gonna drop the salary cap down because of the loss of revenues and work with it from there and do compliance buyouts, or the word is they're not going to drop it. What was the other half of that question?
There's the compliance buyouts, and if the season's canceled, do the Canucks keep the first round?
Oh, the first round picks I think are going to be contingent on where you were in the standings. So if you would have been in the playoffs, I would think they do that by points percentage if they don't play any more games from here. So the Canucks, I would think, would forfeit that first round pick and keep the one for next year.
Do you like Randy Hahn, Sharks announcer?
Yes. Yeah, the Sharks announce team is pretty good. Again, when I did the top 10, it was kind of this elite 10, and there are a lot of good announcers in the NHL. I think it's the least aggravating announcing when you compare it to some of the other sports.
Do you think plus minus is an irrelevant stat?
Over the period of a season, yes. In a game, not necessarily, because it tells you which line is matched up really well against which other line, which defenseman might be getting overworked and or being just used improperly. Over a series, so if it's a playoff series, I like plus minus. I think it's useful. But if it's over a full season, I don't think it tells you a whole lot. Excuse me. St. Louis trying to add to their lead. Riddick makes a save. See you red in Calgary. Except for the fans that didn't get the memo. There's some up there that aren't wearing red. I don't think it's all Blues fans either that are not wearing red, although there's some of them.
Coyotes sign Dadonov and Hoffman if they lose Hull.
The problem the Coyotes would have is cap space. Even for them to sign Hall, like they're up against the cap. So picking up a top six forward might be possible, but picking up two would be very, very difficult. Of the two, I would think Dadonov would probably be the cheaper option. I would probably sign Dadonov before Hoffman personally, but of the two, Dadonov will probably be the cheaper option, and I don't think Arizona will have the cap space for both. Wow, Calgary's really trying to give up another goal here. That's some pretty iffy defense going on there.
Will you do videos about all-time teams for each team in NHL?
Yes. I know that right now, I think it's Sportsnet that's doing the all-time teams for all the Canadian teams. So I would do it differently than the way they're doing it, because I don't want to just, basically repeat what they said. But after I'm done with my favorites, I'm going to do like an all-time best for each team.
What do you think of the chances of the season coming back before playoffs?
I honestly think right now salvaging this season is probably 50-50. I think that if you're just going to play playoffs and if it's not going to be regular season, I think there's probably a better chance of that than of having regular season and playoffs. But even then, it's probably 55-45 in terms of percentage. Like it really depends on the local numbers, on city municipalities, on what medical experts have to say regarding this ongoing pandemic all around us. And until that's all cleared up, yeah. It really is a 50-50 proposition at this stage.
No, we're not going to not read comments on videos. That would go downhill really, really fast. And
yes.
Then where's the fun in that? Shannon likes being able to talk to people and have a discussion about things.
Yeah, see, I have no problem with having, an intelligent debate regarding what's going on and everything else. So that's why I still read comments. It's important. I think for a YouTuber, I think it's important to read comments, because I've seen some YouTubers, the bigger ones especially, that don't, and their comment section can be really, really toxic.
Yes, and that's what happens if you don't look at it at all, but of course Shannon wants to read the comments. Yeah. He likes having it so it's more like a conversation, not just a one-way thing where
and there's people in the comment section that I'm friends with.
Right.
And so it's kind of nice to have that discourse, especially right now where I'm not leaving the house. I'm not really doing anything. So it's kind of nice to have some kind of social interaction with people.
Mm-hmm.
Even means answering the telephone. Weird answering the telephone.
I know, that was bizarre having your phone ring today.
And you hearing me actually talking on the phone.
I know.
Like, that's just... That's the first time since Michael called that I've talked on the phone.
I know, right.
And that took some, I'm like, yeah, whatever, sure it is.
Yes.
Michael Bublé wants to call you. Yeah, sure he does. Screw off. Whatever. No, seriously, he does. Yeah, whatever. It's like the third or fourth try before we're like, oh, crap, this is actually seriously...
It is.
Oh, okay, no, all right. You understand why we think this is BS, right? Okay, never mind then. It was like in that Fighting with My Family where The Rock calls the father on WrestleMania. Yeah. This is The Rock. He goes, yeah, whatever. Click.
When his assistant was first messaging, I was like, yeah, uh-huh.
Sure. Yeah, you're his assistant. Sure you are.
Of course you are.
Sure.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah, that was weird. And it was because it was a Facebook message.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like an email or anything. It was a Facebook message.
Yeah, it was funny.
Uh-huh. Right.
Because we were laughing when we talked about it. We're like, sure it is. That's funny.
That's weird. Whatever. Bucks winning the Super Bowl.
It's possible. With Brady, it's definitely possible. I don't think Gronkowski puts him over the top, but it's definitely possible with Brady. They've had the offense, they've had the receivers, but they had a ton of interceptions last year, and by cutting down on those interceptions, they have a much better chance.
Shannon never mentions Michael Bublé when he calls. Every single time he gets a call from Michael Bublé, he never mentions he got a call from Michael Bublé.
He swore me to secrecy, so I can't mention his name. So I do my best to keep it out. I might have mentioned it once or twice, but I slipped it in, and it was. I hit it well.
Such a dork too. My friend Michael Bublé. I just got off the phone with my friend Michael Bublé.
Is it so bloody weird?
Not just in videos. That's how he talks to me about it.
It's so weird. It's like, why are you calling me?
My friend Michael Bublé just texted me.
What are you talking to me for?
I was just texting with my friend Michael Bublé. Yeah, Shannon's a dork in real life too, not just on TV.
If I was him, I'd be trying to get like Bruce Springsteen's phone number and ask him, so, born in the USA, huh? You tired of that being used out of context? Like, I'd be, making some phone calls to some pretty big name people. So, Rammstein, that song America. It's not a complimentary song. I'm not sure why everybody glommed onto that one.
Favorite Canadian band?
3 Days Grace.
Absolutely.
Weezer?
Definitely. They're not. What? What?
What's your problem?
What is it?
What? Did you just realize she's in here? Did you just realize there's two humans in here and nobody paying attention to you?
What's the worst mascot in sports?
I was horrified by the Oilers mascot when they revealed him. I thought Oily the Oil Can was the best way to go. And as he, tromped his way down the steps, he'd be spewing oil all over the place. Would you not use me as a launch pad? What the heck was that?
I can jump higher, though.
Ow! Okay, so she's already clawed my chest a couple nights ago.
Yes, it is. Shannon pretending you guys are siblings at meetups is great. Yeah.
Pretending.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He doesn't do that just at meetups. He likes to do that when we're on, like,
See, she gets sensitive because Mom's been really nervous about this.
Games.
Mom doesn't want people to know the truth. There's a reason we don't have kids with one another.
Places where there's a lot of people around, that's usually when he does his loud talking voice. Mom said not to talk to me like that. Mom said you're not allowed to touch me like that.
We went to court and the judge told you to watch how your tone is with me.
Okay.
Of course, the judge was Christopher Walken, so it's the wrong tone.
Such a dork.
Thank you.
Favorite Weezer song / album?
That's her category.
I really like Weezer, and I might have a lot of their albums. I do really like. I was going to say their new album, but they have another new album, the Black Album.
They release albums every other month.
They do release a lot. The Black Album is kind of really fun, though they do have a lot of albums that I really like. So They're fun. Weezer's fun.
Not nervous. Not nervous. Can St. Louis get the shutout? It's 1-0 in the third. Less than a minute left.
Shirley, top 5 most underrated players.
Oh, Anthony Cirelli, yes. Yes. He's going to be up there. Cirelli, you know, he to me, he's kind of like what JT Miller was last year, where Miller has scored a ton of points in Vancouver that he wasn't going to score in Tampa. He wouldn't have scored them this year either. Cirelli on another team would be top 6 and probably score a ton more points. There are guys in St. Louis that are like that too.
Beef or chicken?
Beef.
More Wii Sports Resorts videos. Adelaide and I have played a couple on the... What's the other one we have?
What? Wii Sports?
There's the resorts, and then there's the other one that has weird games on it.
Well, there's the 2 Wii Sports. There's the Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort.
Yes, but the resorts has everything.
Empty netter by St. Louis. 2-0 St. Louis. Calgary's going to be down 2-1 after this one. Jaden Schwartz. So.
Favorite Finnish band? Oh, there's so many fun ones. There's some really fun ones.
That one Hecka sent us. The
that
Notguar.
one. Do you know how many
Notguar.
bands Notguar is one of my favorites. They're really fun.
Yeah.
Hecka sends me so many bands. They're really fun.
There's times where I'll wake up and I hear music and I'm like, and she's like, Hecka just sent me some music.
Hecka sent me something. I have to listen to it.
Yeah.
He sends us some really fun ones. So there's
Schwartz from O'Reilly and Petrangelo.
There's some fun ones. Yeah. So I don't know for favorite. I don't know. There's a lot of really fun ones.
So 3 seconds left. St. Louis up 2-0. They're going to be up 2-1.
I might make the children listen to Finnish metal fairly frequently. There's some fun ones.
That's okay. Every now and then I go up when she's in the sewing room listening to music and I ask it to play music she doesn't like.
Yeah, he turns it to crap. So
come on, Def Leppard. Let's get some Def Leppard going on in here, and then I sing along with it.
That's exactly how that goes. Jersey from the past that you want Adidas to make. Oh, there's so many.
I'd love to see Kansas City Scouts or Colorado Rockies modernized.
I think the Kings with the crust would be awesome.
Oh yeah, the Kings with the yes.
Great.
Yes, the shield, the Kings with the shield would be fantastic. I don't think it'll happen. Maybe. I mean, they did the 90s one this year, right? That'd be fantastic. With other ones, Bruins bring back the Pooh Bear jersey. Some version of the Pooh Bear would be kind of nice in an Adidas. Nice fancy Pooh Bear.
Fancy.
Yeah, fancy Pooh Bear. That's right. All right, so St. Louis goes up 2-1 on Calgary.
Would you buy the Burger King jersey?
I have it.
He has it.
I have it. And I'm going to be honest, a subscriber sent it to me because I couldn't find it for a decent price. And then when I tried to ask him, like, okay, how much did this cost you? He just said, don't worry about it, never mind. And I'm like, seriously, no, that's not right. So, yeah, that was kind of insane. All right, I'm going to put Dallas in their ugly jerseys.
I'd love to see Adidas, Kansas City, or Rockies jerseys.
Yes, a Rockies jersey would be really nice.
Is the Rammstein concert in jeopardy?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Because it's in Los Angeles, I can't see how it happens. So the good news is I'm going to get money back when the tickets are canceled. The one thing is, the Tool concert was delayed. It's possible Rammstein delays the tour.
I'm hoping that's what they do. And they don't schedule it for the same weekend. I don't care.
They're getting old. They're getting old. I want this concert to happen. Ben Bishop 5-2 with an .881 save percentage.
My parents listen to Christian and classical music, and you guys listen to Rammstein and Tool.
Hellebuck 879. Well, there's both. There's Stripers both. Although Stripers not really metal. I used to have that argument with people. Petra was metal though. And then there was Rez was another one. Because I used to listen to a lot of Christian contemporary. Because when I was a church type, I had to find music of that variety that didn't make me want to punch things, which is tough. For me, that was tough. Because I was like, seriously, you put in another tape of Stephen Curtis Chapman, we're going to have a fight.
Yes.
So, I know a lot of that music. Twyla Paris. Every now and then people put in Twyla Paris and be like, oh, not Twyla Paris, please not Twyla Paris. So, yeah.
I don't know.
Was it Take
Pass.
6? So Take 6 was one?
I,
Audio Adrenaline, you like them.
Yeah, they're not bad.
DC Talk was funny, because DC Talk was Christian, and then all of a sudden they were Nirvana.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be Nirvana now. And I was like, okay. I had their Nirvana album. It wasn't bad.
No, never had. No.
It had its moments.
Nope. Pass.
It was very Nirvana. Even the guitar was very Nirvana, the distortion.
Pass.
So Dallas is tied with Winnipeg one game apiece. Dallas is lulling Winnipeg into a false sense of security, and they're going to knock Winnipeg out, and then Yvonne's going to be sad, but that's what's going to happen. So
see, you can keep saying that because last game you talked about that, and then the Jets.
Well,
so
and then the Stars clearly started feeling bad.
Right.
And they realized they didn't want to beat Winnipeg in both games in Winnipeg,
right,
so
that's how
they let up. And now they're at home, and they're going to win.
Uh-huh.
And this is just how it's going to go.
There's a North Star jersey in the.
Well, there better be. I'd be wearing North Stars in those rings too. That's the nice thing.
Yeah,
if we ever do a tour, if we ever actually have money again, we can ever actually go on a trip. I don't know if you saw my post today.
We get to go on holiday.
Did you see my post on Facebook about how we had 140,000 views in a 48-hour period 2 days ago, and that seemed like a lot. And so I posted, yeah, that was a lot. That was when we were saving up for Vegas, and I could afford a trip to Vegas. Now I can afford a trip to Coquitlam.
Ooh, Coquitlam.
Yeah.
It's opening Coquitlam. I don't know what we do there, but
yeah, I don't know either. But I can afford a trip to Coquitlam right now. I can afford that. But yeah,
can drive by people's
when
houses.
we can afford.
Hi.
When we can afford that kind of thing, it would be fun to hit Minnesota and Dallas, because then I could just bring a North Stars jersey and it works
those are right
for both.
by each other, right?
Works for both. They're both Central Division teams, so I assume they're right next to each other.
It's totally close.
I assume Dallas and Minnesota are kind of walking distance, right? Because they moved them. It's not like you're going to move a team that far away.
Country. Right?
No. Dallas and Minnesota have to be close. Minnesota's just a cold Dallas, and Dallas is a warm Minneapolis. Winnipeg gets a power play, scoreless tie. Series is tied at 1. Who's going to the box? Is that Alexiak? Yeah, that's a good sim. You got Alexiak going to the box. That's about right.
How long until the Canucks finally win the cup?
I hope it's soon. It'd be nice if it was soon.
Making weird sounds over there.
Because I don't know. I honestly don't see it happening, but Canuck fans get mad when they say I don't see it happening, or when I laugh when they have questions asked. It's seen as insulting because I kind of get a good chuckle out of it. That was one thing I mentioned to Ryan today. I don't know if you heard me say that or not.
Say what?
About how bad the Canucks were in the 80s, and he kind of got a laugh out of it. He's like, yeah, they were pretty bad. So I was like, people complain about how bad they are now, but man, compared to what they were in the 80s, even though they've missed the playoffs 5 years in a row.
Can we have a Coquitlam meet up with our COVID face masks? Eventually.
Eventually, yes.
Can't be playing on those on the court.
Sometime this summer, there will be some form of a meetup locally. But
even if it's not planned,
it's likely going to be everybody has to stay apart kind of thing, and we're going to be just kind of hanging out from a distance and just chatting and talking. But you know what? I haven't had any social interaction in 7 weeks. That sounds particularly delightful to me.
I took the kids out of the house yesterday for the first time since March 12th. We drove around town. They just wanted to see what things looked like.
Just to remember that there are things.
They have not been out of the house/driveway since March 12th.
Yeah, this is true.
I
nice save, Bishop. Very nice.
A tiny bit.
Ben Bishop's playing well. I think your team's going to be crying after this one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a big game.
Talking.
Big game here for Dallas at home. There's Tyler Sagan. He doesn't let me down.
When I went to our local ECHL games, I enjoyed that the ECHL switched jerseys halfway through the year from white at home to color at home.
I wouldn't mind seeing the NHL do something like that. Honestly, I think just alternating it would be fine. I do kind of miss when you would see, like, for the Canucks being at home, you'd have different colors on the ice game in and game out, and now it's just the Canucks are blue and the other teams are always white. So there is something to be said for that. Aesthetically, fans seem to like it better with the white being the home jerseys. And
I think the Jets should be able to have white at home jerseys at least for the playoffs. It's so weird
that they have the white out and they wear blue.
Everybody wear white
except the team on the ice.
Except the team.
Yeah.
That kind of drives me a little
It is bizarre.
Is the West Coast Express still there? Do you guys ever take that? Love that train. It goes to Mission, so to take
doesn't come near us.
Have to drive to Mission.
It doesn't come near us, sadly.
In my previous marriage, my then husband would take it every once in a while to work in Vancouver. This isn't on the Hockey Guy channel because technical difficulties.
Yeah, it wouldn't let me log out of this account into the other one, so alright, fine. And I don't have enough followers on Twitch to justify putting it on Twitch. I got 5, which I had none. So now I have 5.
Nice!
So I don't want to let that go to my head.
And Mr. Popular.
But that might be a status at some point on Facebook. I got 5 Twitch followers. How many do you have? And then some girl I know will be like 8 million and be like, oh, never mind. Never mind.
I like how Shannon says he hasn't interacted with anybody for 7 weeks. Like Yvonne doesn't count.
Who?
Story
oh!
Yeah,
right.
He only lives in a house with 4 other people, but who wins the cup first, Flames or Canucks?
If the Flames can get a goaltender that can get them through 4 rounds, I like the Flames' chances. If they can't, then the Canucks are probably minutely closer than Calgary overall. They're pretty darn close to one another, though. The numbers watching keep going up because I think people are like, oh, what's it doing over here? Why are we over here? Sorry.
Every once in a while there is somebody else that says, why is this here?
So scoreless. See, and it shows people they should follow both channels because you just never know. Crazy wackiness can happen on both channels. Crazy wackiness. That's what I should just call both channels. Crazy Wackiness 1 and Crazy Wackiness 2.
Thanks for pumping out content. Do you think New Jersey is better off without Hall long term, and do you think Hall is overrated?
New Jersey certainly seems to be better off without Hall right now. I do think Hall is overrated, and I think where that comes from is his Hart Trophy season a couple years back. I think he's a very good top 6 forward. I think he's a solid setup guy. I know I had expected more goals from him a few years ago. I've kind of relaxed that expectation with him, but he is overrated. When I hear, when he went to Arizona and you hear Tyson Nash talking about this is a game changer, this guy's a game changer, he's going to be this dynamic force and he's going to change it. And I thought, wow, he's not that. He's a very good top 6 forward. He can score you about a point per game if he's on, and he's good. He's even great, but there's a limit, and sometimes I feel like he gets overhyped. So Dallas is going to the power play, still scoreless. Winnipeg about to lose this one. I'm sorry, sweetie.
You can just shut it.
I'm sorry. Winnipeg is gonna.
Whatever.
I can't wait till I start talking to people again.
Messaging me?
Probably your mom. Is it?
Oh no, somebody.
That's the person. Huh? There you go. Dallas scored on the power play. Didn't take very long either. They scored. All right, Dallas is up 1-0. It's Jamie Benn from Pavelski and Heiskanen at 3:47 on that power play. Stars are up. Do you need some aloe vera for that burn?
Whatever. It's one of the nurses asking for more caps. Which Canadian team will improve next season?
Canadian team? Ottawa. Ottawa's not going to be that bad next year. They're going to improve. And how much they improve will be decided by the draft lottery. I think Ottawa's going to show some real signs of improvement next year. Now what are you doing? Now
that's somebody messaging about masks.
See, I knew that was coming. So Dallas is up.
Okay. Of all the Swedish prospects signed today, who do you think is the best?
Hoglander. I'm totally biased because of the goals that he scores that are absolutely gorgeous. He's a Canucks prospect. He was a second rounder that there were rumors he could go as early as the late first round this past year. So I really like Hoglander. I really, really do.
Why would a nurse ask for more cats? To brighten everybody's mood.
To throw at people.
It's really stressful right now, so more cats.
And we watched Dr. Sleep last night, so sometimes they can be a harbinger, I guess.
Did you do a video on that?
No.
You should. You should do a video on why that movie doesn't make any sense.
Dr. Sleep made absolutely no, and most people love it, and yet I'm watching the whole thing and I'm going, why? Why did that happen? Now, why did that happen? Never mind, we're on to something else that's why did that happen. And I love The Shining. The Shining's one of my all-time favorite movies, and Dr. Sleep just had me shaking my head quite a bit. I'll have you in on the review then, because there's stuff you'll remember that I forget. Because I'm going to have a mental block about some of it. Dear Lord. The only thing I learned is the girl with the hat, she's a really good actress. She's fantastic. If she can be Jenny in Greatest Showman and then play in that movie, play that evil role,
I don't get the
she's
hat.
Fantastic. They never explained the hat. They made a big deal of the hat in the beginning, and then they never explained the hat.
Yeah, I thought it was going to have, like, some kind of significance.
None. Just imagine if I did a video tomorrow and I'm wearing this really weird, goofy hat, and I say at the start, hey, I'm wearing this hat for a reason, and then at the end of the video you go, Shannon never explained the goofy hat. Why didn't he explain the goofy? It's going to drive you nuts. And that they never explained why she wore the hat. Now, I haven't watched the director's cut, which is 7.5 hours long. Well, it's 3.5, but it might as well be 7.5. Maybe that tells me more. Maybe I'll do a review again after I watch the director's cut, but it's just so long. Let me know if anybody's figured out the hat. And it's sad because there were things I liked in Dr. Sleep, but there were parts that I'm like, wait, why, how, what, whose idea was this? That's stupid. And it just, I don't get it.
Shannon did a video on favorite NHL logos once.
Yep, twice. I've done 2 videos on my favorite NHL logos. And on this channel that we're broadcasting on right now, I did my favorite NFL teams yesterday, which has actually gone over better than when I do NHL teams. It actually has gone over better.
Really?
I'm kind of sort of surprised.
Did everybody not tell you were wrong?
Even Cowboys fans were like, all right, totally understood. Doesn't like the Cowboys. Checks out. And there were plenty of people like, wow, he doesn't like the Cowboys. Which makes sense because they're like the Boston Bruins of football.
Right.
So, see, there's a fight going on. It's Lindell and Morrissey. Well, Lindell's winning that. He knocked his helmet off. Oh, here we go. No, come on, get in there. Come on.
Somebody slapped the dislike button.
Come on.
Somebody always does.
Come on.
We have some very dedicated
dislikers.
They're very, very dedicated. They come on both channels. They are subscribers and they get notifications though. So,
Lindell wins the fight. You see that? Dallas wins the fight.
But whatever.
Dallas won that fight. See that? Kabam. Morrissey goes down. Kabam. Lindell with the win. Tell me he turtles.
They have YouTube Premium. But they are subscribers, they get notifications, and they watch every single video. Yep. So it's kind of funny.
I used to, downvotes used to really bug me. They really don't anymore. Unless it's a really high percentage, I really don't care.
Would you ever appear on the Steve Dangle podcast?
Yes. I actually messaged Steve a few days ago. Steve's probably busy with Sportsnet stuff, so I haven't heard back from him. But I messaged him and said, hey, we should set something up and figure out a time and a way of doing this. So I reached out to him, I want to say 3 days ago. 1-0 Dallas, 5 minutes left in the second period.
Do you watch boxing? What's your favorite boxer any era?
I haven't watched boxing in a long time. I used to really enjoy it. Where boxing started to bother me was when I thought that decision doesn't make any sense. And where that started was when Sugar Ray Leonard beat Marvin Hagler. And watching that fight, I was like, okay, so Hagler has this fight. Wait, why did Sugar Ray Leonard win? Are you serious? So I started to turn against boxing when I saw Sugar Ray Leonard was being favored by the judges. And I started seeing that in boxing often where certain guys were favored, where you'd go, there's no way he won that. At the very least, it's a draw. Oh, no, he won by unanimous decision. That's ridiculous. So there were certain guys, the only way to beat them was to knock them out. And then boxing is just, for me, it's gone downhill over the last, I'll say, 20 years. I haven't really followed it as much since, I think the last champion I really followed was Holyfield. And since Holyfield, it's just been, it just felt like it's gone downhill for me, and yeah.
I don't like boxing at all.
No.
No.
Because they're all the face punching.
I really, really don't like it.
It's all the face punching.
Steve
Yvonne doesn't like
probably
face
not
punching.
Busy, no sports. That's not how that works.
No, I'm busier without sports.
So not how that works.
I'm busier without sports.
If he's very busy as well.
He's been doing a lot of videos on Sportsnet. Odds are, because traffic is down and ad revenue's down for everybody,
so that
he may be working more.
So that means that, like Shannon, he probably has to do a lot more work for a lot less pay.
Yep.
So people that are YouTubers or any sort of entertainment, they're having to work a lot more for a lot less pay.
Even television stations, they were talking about how television stations, their ad revenues are way down right now. So even though you may see higher ratings for certain shows, the actual money that the stations are making is way, way down. 1-0 Dallas after 2.
All the ad revenues are down because all of the people
there's no
making
competition.
Products, yeah, and they're all making less money, and they're not making as many products and everything.
And then there's a lot of advertisers too, like
money to buy stuff.
Even news channels, which have all the ratings, they're not getting ad revenues either, because there's a lot of advertisers don't want to have any advertising money going towards COVID coverage at all. So even the news networks that you see all the time on they're not making the money they were either. Everybody's down.
Does Yvonne like basketball?
Oh, absolutely. You know, she's been bugging me to get a hoop out in the yard, and I'm thinking this might be a good time to get one.
I really don't like basketball. I don't
the driveway.
think it's entertaining to watch.
Her slam dunks are absolutely legendary. She has,
oh my gosh, no.
She can do a full spin in the air and then, boom, vicious two-hander. And she can do a three-pointer, nothing but net.
No, I've never been able to
Not
play
only that,
basketball.
but she can bang, 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 like off of 4 corners and then into the hoop. It's the most amazing thing. Dallas is going back to the power play, already up 1-0 on a power play goal, and Morrissey gets a penalty for skating, because I didn't see a hook there.
No,
so he got a penalty for skating.
Entertaining. There's way too much scoring.
And she's better than everybody, so it bores her. Where she's like, all right, LeBron, whatever. And, like, LeBron won't return her phone calls because he's scared of her. And she challenged him to a game of horse, and he pretended that he didn't know what she was talking about. So, yeah, it's embarrassing for her.
Yeah, that's not a thing.
It is, though. Stop being so...
No, basketball's not...
Dallas scores on the power play again. It's 2-0. As that referee with that $20 in his back pocket. Ben scores from Heiskanen and Radulov. That's Ben's second goal of the night.
For some strange reason, I hate the Rangers jerseys. I think it's the word mark. I don't like words on hockey jerseys. It's not just me. I don't like them either.
No, I've never liked word marks on jerseys. The only reason I like Rangers ones is because they're classic. They are classic. They're iconic. But if the Rangers were going to have any one design, I would go with the one from the 70s that Rangers fans resoundingly hated, with the shield on the front. I thought that was a beautiful jersey. I didn't see the hate, but I was very young at the time, so I didn't know better.
Somebody thinks the Rangers jerseys are beautiful. I don't like the word ones either.
I like them. I like my white Rangers too. I think it's fantastic.
One of the reasons I like hockey jerseys is the fun logos. Like, compare it to football that doesn't do the logos, so I think those are really boring. And then baseball, that most of them just have a letter. So I don't think those are fun either. It's
because we spell with letters.
I like the fun logos, and so the ones that just have a word, like the city or the team name, I think they're kind of boring.
Maybe they're not egotistical enough to need like a bird or a plant on their logo.
Plant, eh?
Plant. You could totally have the Seattle Plants. I figured out a great name for the team. The greenery, the foliage.
Mean several different things.
The Seattle foliage. It could mean a lot of things. Yes. Everything's legal in Washington State, so that could mean a lot of things without actually saying it.
That's a horrible idea. Okay.
The Seattle Leafies.
Hey guys, I watch every single video and I can't tell you enough how much you guys mean to me. Keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.
We need a video of Yvonne's legendary slam dunk.
Oh, I agree. But Yvonne's always scared that then the NBA is going to want her to play, and then she's not going to be home with the kids. She's very, very modest about it. Her basketball skills are just amazing. They really are.
Nah,
they are, though.
I can play. No.
The WNBA offered her, like, partial ownership of the Seattle team, and she was like, I don't want to live in Seattle. So they're like, but okay, we'll just give you the team then. And she said no. She said she has to stay here. She has for the children.
I'm 5'2",
which makes her dunking skills all the more legendary. They're fantastic.
Oh, Shannon.
Dallas up 2-0 with 9:22 left in the second. I'll be right back.
Somebody called you Shanny on here.
Yeah, that's nice.
Shanny.
Yeah, well, I've been called worse.
Grandma shot, a trend. What's a grandma shot? I really can't play basketball. I don't have depth perception. Issues with depth perception. Yeah, me and basketball, nah. But Shanny, that's a weird name. Nobody calls him Shanny except for Adelaide. Adelaide calls him Shanny. And that's like it. What, you didn't realize I was that short? You know I wear boots that have like 2-inch heels. I wear boots like all the time. It makes me taller. How tall is Shannon? He's taller than me. Hey! Not by a lot, clearly. We're a super tall family. Super tall.
Makes her slam dunking skills just fantastic.
For our son that's, what is he, 5'8" now? He towers over us.
So still 2-0. The Jets trying to manufacture a goal here to get the game closer. Dallas fighting them off.
My parents are both 5'6", and I thought they were short.
I remember my friend Matt in high school.
I'm not 5'6".
My friend Matt in high school, he must have been 5'7", maybe 5'7", 5'8". And he came over to my house once. My grandmother was 4'11". My dad was 5'2". My mother was 5'1". And of course, I'm not much taller than that. And he just looks around and he's like, I'm so tall. I love your family. You're all hobbits. This is great.
My mom calls us hobbits.
Yeah, no, he was very, very happy. Because he was like, in my family I'm short, but in your family I'm a giant. This is great.
I am by far the shortest in my family. My mom is significantly taller. She's like 5'7" or 5'8". My sister is also a lot taller. I think she's taller than my mom.
Yeah.
I was definitely the short one, but I have a great aunt that had to be 4'10" or so.
Yeah, my grandmother was 4'11".
So, yeah, not...
And she was like 80 pounds. She was tiny.
Yes, my great auntie Vina, she's so tiny. And she ate butter with everything.
Oh, so did Granny. Although Granny replaced butter with margarine.
Ew,
she just didn't tell Grandpa. So Grandpa would have his butter, and it had margarine in it, but it said butter on the outside. So he would tell people, "Oh, you're gonna love my butter. We have the nicest. Marie doesn't get crappy old margarine. We got real butter here." He looked like a moron because he's throwing margarine at people, and we wouldn't tell them until after. Like, yeah, that's just margarine.
No, my aunt, she used to use butter as frosting on, like, bars and stuff. Yeah, just called them, like, wedding cakes.
Is Dallas going to hit the empty net, or are they going to Patrick Steph on it? There's the empty netter.
You guys are Celtic. The height makes sense.
Klingberg. Empty netter for Dallas. Dallas up 3-0.
Oh, yeah. It's your birthday.
Hockey stream on the entertainment guy because of technical difficulties.
Yep. There's the empty netter. Dallas up 3-0. Besides, it also gets the subscriber numbers up on the entertainment guy. Basically, both of them are attached to my Google account anyways, so I'm going to have fewer views on here than I would have on the Hockey Guy channel, but it's still it's on the same Google account. So
what is the Dallas mascot?
it's a scary alien thing. I've asked that, and some Dallas fans get mad at me for saying it's terrifying, but it is. I don't know what it is. It's got skates on its head.
It's weird.
It has skates on its head.
It's like
Why?
a weird Muppet. It's a hockey Muppet.
It's an unfinished Muppet. They started something, and they go, hey, this is goofy, and they just threw it away, and somebody in Dallas picked it up and went, this is our mascot right here. I don't know why this is gold. So Dallas is up 2-1. There's the Whatsit out there with the blades on his head.
Use this channel for live more often. But we already do like 4 live streams a week. Two of
We
them
do
are on this channel.
2 on this channel every week, which we had Sims the other night.
We do 5 live streams a week.
And yes,
2
we do.
of them are on this channel.
Yes.
3 of them are on the other channel, but 1's a Patreon.
Right.
We already do 2 a week. I think we're good.
Yeah. Yeah. So the Jets lose 3-0 to Dallas. I'm sorry, Dallas is doing what I told you they would. Jamie Benn with 2 goals and an assist. I think that Connor Hellebuck's going to want to get some aloe because that red light, the goal light, probably burned the back of his neck. So he's going to need some aloe for that after that game. So
Edmonton's
Dallas wins.
Mascot scares me. That one looks frightening.
Edmonton's mascot is the only one that I think might take Gritty in a fight.
He does look
He's the only one that might take Gritty in a fight. Speaking of Gritty, it's Philadelphia and Calgary. This series tied at 1. Let's see what they can do. Bless your face.
Oh my goodness.
Learn to sneeze properly because that was sad.
You say my coughs are sad too.
They're both sad.
Meh.
You're sad.
Meh.
Hey, Mom said you're not supposed to talk to me that way.
Does Canada have legal sports betting?
Yes. It's government run. So it's basically, yeah, the government, they run the gambling racket and they make good money at it. That started just after I graduated high school, I think. Because I know there was one week, I used to sit down and come up with the NFL predictions, and every week I'd predict who was going to win. And then at the end of the day, I go, I got 8 out of 13 right, or 7 out of 15. There was one day I got all 13 games right. So I looked at the sports betting, and I cried. Because I would have won like 10 grand or something like that. I was like, oh my God, if I had just bet today. And then I never got all of them right again. So I started betting. I'm like, all right, I'm betting now. I'm going to... And then I never got them all right again. I didn't even get close. I wasn't winning anything. It was so sad.
Why did you pick the ugliest Stars jersey for last game?
Because I'm wearing the word mark, so I figured I'd have the black word mark. So, which ironically, I don't have Carolina wearing their technical white jersey, which is the word mark, because I think that one looks nicer. What do you want?
Why are you staring at me?
What do you want,
She's
sweetie?
just sitting out there doing the stare at me.
I know, but
Stare at
last
you
time I
until
picked
you
her
pay
up,
attention.
she decided she was going to launch herself off my chest.
She wasn't staring at you. She was staring at me.
Hi, what's that look for?
She's like, I wasn't talking to you.
She looks mad.
Yeah, she wasn't talking to you.
She looks mad. Oh, goal by Philadelphia.
How do you think Oliver Wahlstrom will turn out to be?
I still like Wahlstrom. I know he had a setback this year, but I still like Wahlstrom. Giroux scored from Couturier and Voracek. 1-0 Philadelphia early in Carolina. I like Philadelphia's black jerseys from back then,
That
too.
was a loud meow. It was. Cause
She is a loud cat.
She knows I'm on the other side of the room.
She's a
She likes
loud
to talk
cat.
to me.
She's always asleep in videos, but man, she is a loud cat.
If hockey resumes, who wins the cup?
I still like Tampa's chances. When they went into the pause, I updated my prediction to Tampa. I'm going to stick with Tampa.
When you're done with the playoff mode, could you play the Spengler Cup on NHL 20?
I guess. I'm thinking though about going into a franchise mode.
Are you better now?
I don't know what her problem was. What was your problem?
I am cute.
What was your problem? Weird cat. She's the weird cat in the house.
No, it's not usually on the entertainment guide.
No.
But technical difficulties, so
Oh,
today it is.
2-0. 2-0 early for the Flyers. Carolina should call a timeout and get this all figured out.
If they don't have a playoffs this year, every team will be like, this would have been the year we won.
Yep, Lawton
We
from
totally
Konechny and
won.
Hayes, 335. That's what we went through in 2005. was there was no season and no playoffs, and to this day we can still debate who should have won that year, and there was no season at all. So if they don't finish this out, that's tough. And as somebody that watched 6 games live this year, it'd be nice to see who wins at the end. It would be nice to see who wins it, and however they make that work, that's up to them.
Did you see that you were featured on the Score article?
Yes, because I was interviewed for that. I was interviewed, and they told me before it came out. So I knew that was coming, and I just didn't promote it on the channel because I don't do the self-promotion thing. It feels weird. Same as she read the article, I didn't, because I was interviewed for it, so I assumed it wasn't just going to be a hack piece. With the media, you can never tell that whether or not you're going to get hatcheted, but for everything I've heard, it was nice. It was well done.
It was a very short little. This is what Shannon's
which is
doing.
Just fine. That's just fine. I haven't, and for anybody who's wondering, I haven't noticed any bump in my numbers. I haven't noticed that I got a bunch of extra subscribers when that happened. So it's just, again, it got pushed back. I think it was a week beyond where they were going to put it, and I didn't anticipate it necessarily bringing the numbers up because the interest in sports right now has been low for obvious reasons.
Canadian news is nothing like American news.
No,
they are completely different.
No, I
completely different.
There isn't a network in with American news right now that I don't get aggravated with right now. I'll put it that way. There isn't one that I don't get aggravated with and go, okay, no, and no. But with Canadian news, it's a little more even-handed.
Yeah, ours are nothing.
No,
they're not at all alike. Does this game have older teams, players available to play?
It does. For this playoff, for this purpose of these playoffs, I did not have that in this file. I started a file where I was just doing like fantasy kind of thing, and people complained that I wasn't using the right teams. So after I've done this playoff, then yeah, we'll go back and we'll do something fun with it.
Do you think Dadonov will sign in Vancouver to replace Eriksson?
I don't know that the Canucks have the money. I don't know that the Canucks are going to have the money. I think they'd rather keep Toffoli, and I think Toffoli would like to stick around. I think he likes it in Vancouver. If there's a way to keep Toffoli, I'm 100% on board. Although when I start seeing Canuck fans saying, well, we should trade Besser and keep Toffoli, I'm going, wait. No. That's just my reaction. It's just no to the idea of trading Besser. I really don't like the idea of trading Besser. I say no to trading Besser. I would veto that if I had the option. If Benning was going to call me, I would veto that.
What jersey that you don't have in your collection do you want the most right now?
The Tampa Bay Storm one, probably. Yeah, that's probably the major one that I really wish I had.
Mighty Wing?
I've given up on the Mighty Wing. I've legit given up on ever having the Mighty Wing jersey. I just don't think it's ever going to happen. I think it's just too expensive and it's too rare. So I don't think it's ever going to happen. Top 10 hits, there's Couturier and Myers in the top 10 in the NHL for the playoffs. Carter Hart is out dueling. It looks like it's still Forsberg at the other end, isn't it?
Hi, Shannon. Talked to you on Facebook. Thanks for keeping us entertained during this.
No problem.
Have you been to an AHL or an ECHL game?
No, but she has. She's been to an AHL game. Abbotsford Heat was AHL.
Oh, yeah.
So...
yeah, I've been to a few of the Heat games.
I'm hoping to, at some point, we go to California. It would be fun to go to an AHL game. Once we have, the world back, then an AHL game would be a lot of fun. An ECHL would be too. I need a Swamp Rabbits jersey. I'm just throwing out there, I need a Swamp Rabbits jersey. Because Swamp Rabbits is like one of the greatest names. That's right up there with the... well, Dog River Dogs. I had a Dog River Dogs jersey somewhere from Corner Gas.
Oh, yeah.
I had a Dog River Dogs jersey.
Do you think the Sedins will coach Vancouver in a few years?
If they want to get into something like that, I don't think they necessarily want to. I think they're quite happy with their retirement and hanging out with their kids. They don't seem like coaching type. They I don't know that they'll have anything to do with anything in NHL other than being ambassadors for the Canucks. All right, 2-0 after the first period. Philadelphia leading on the road, trying to go up 2-1 on the Carolina Hurricanes.
Thoughts on Linus Sandin signing with Flyers?
Value signing. I really don't have anything bad to say about signing a guy out of Europe that all it does is eat up one of your contracts, and you're going to get him for cheap too. I'm kind of surprised that since it's Rasmus Sandin's older brother, that he didn't end up going to Toronto. That's the thing that kind of surprises me a little bit. I'm always surprised when these guys don't end up playing with their brother on some level. I mean, you don't have to, like Dougie Hamilton was making teams bring his brother in at times. But at the same time, it's a free player. You don't have to give up any assets to get him. Philadelphia goes on to the power play. Chance to make it 3-0 potentially. Hey, kitty. Yes.
Yvonne, have you become a pro at reading comments? Nah.
Not yet, but she's getting there.
I'm getting better at not reading the stupid ones.
She's much better than she was. There were times where I thought I was going to have to let her go. Where I felt that maybe it was time to bring in some fresh blood into the picture. But that didn't happen. Oh, that one got deflected through Forsberg. That was not a fantastic goal. But I put that more on, I think that was the defense knocked that in. Voracek from Konecny and Provorov. Let's take a look at that on the replay. Philadelphia fans are happy. They're up 3-0.
Be nice.
What's going on? They're being nice.
Bear wanted to make sure he knew who was boss.
Was she hissing?
No, just jumping at him, making sure he knew his place.
Oh, she put him off the tree the other day. He was up top, and she just kept slapping him right in the face until he took off.
What
She's
game
like, all right,
will
that's
you
enough.
be playing on TEG tomorrow?
I'm leaning towards GTA.
Yeah.
Maybe Major League Baseball, because it's always funny to see you.
Baseball one's so boring. No.
That's it right there. I live for that. That's fantastic. Uncharted 4 was free, so I could try Uncharted.
I don't know what that is.
It's an adventure game.
Oh.
Always frustrated me, so that would be kind of fun to give that a shot and see how that goes. There was another game I downloaded that was free as well, with my PlayStation Plus membership, that it kept telling me I didn't have. So it kept telling me, you got to get your Plus membership. And then I'd go in and it'd be like, yeah, you already got a Plus membership. What are you doing? So, but there's never anything wrong with the PlayStation Network.
Who does the litter boxes in the house? Everybody, pretty much. Shannon mostly does the ones downstairs. The boys mostly do the ones upstairs. I do them every once in a while, but not nearly as much as all of the boys. Yeah.
Which is kind of how that works.
It's a group effort.
I mean, I brought Shadow and Bear into the house, and it's mostly theirs that are down here, so it's only fair that I clean up after them. Although they don't bug me for food, they bug her for food.
They do.
They ignore me, and then as soon as she comes down, they both go insane. And I'm like,
hey,
wait,
hey,
you guys didn't say anything to me.
Yes, Bear especially. She'll be like,
yeah.
Come on, follow me. Let's go.
Which is weird, because when I go upstairs, Lilybell will tell me she needs food. She leads me to the kitchen. She just comes over and gives me like a slap, and then she saunters away, and I'm like, I'm following Lilybell, and then she goes right to her dish and looks at me.
Pixel's right here.
4-0.
She's right beside me on her little. She has a rug right here. Okay, so we have the treadmill right here. On the other side of the treadmill, there's
Connecting
a little
from Hayes and Hart.
rug, and she's pretty sure that's her spot.
I go over. She'll be down here, and I'll go over to try to pet Pixel, and she'll go over to the rug. She'll run away from me and go to the rug like, you have to pet me here.
This is the petting spot.
This is where you pet me. Everybody else can pet her anywhere else in the house. Me, I can only pet her there. That's it. And she purrs like crazy. But if I try petting her anywhere else, she runs away. Like, no, this is not where you pet me. Because all cats are weird. So 4-0 in favor of the Philadelphia Flyers. This has got away from Carolina badly. And this game, at this stage, unless there's a meltdown by Carter Hart, it looks like the Flyers are going to take a 2-1 series lead.
What toys do the cats play with? They're all different.
Bear and Shadow, anything I have can be a toy.
If it's small and moves, they'll play with it.
Yeah.
Pixel loves anything with feathers. If it has a feather, she loves it.
But she'll talk to it.
She carries it around.
Even
the ones on the stick. The sticks with the feather at the end, she will carry them down the stairs, but she plays with it by herself.
And you'll hear the stick dragging down the stairs. She'll drag it down the stairs, and then she'll purr at it, and she'll talk to it.
She loves feathers.
And she'll meow like she's dying. She meows in its direction for whatever reason. And it's hers. If you try playing with her with it, she'll kind of look at you like,
why are you?
You don't play with it. I play with this myself. That's mine.
Yeah.
And she's very into the feathers thing, and she'll chase other cats off because that's hers.
Every once in a while, Shadow will be like, "I'll play with this,"
even though he doesn't care about feathers. He just does it to bug her.
No, I'll play with it, and then puts it down. And they all like the little. Pixel and Shadow like the little catnip pillows too.
Yes.
It's
she rolls with it.
Yes, it's mostly the two of them. Every once in a while,
and then it's soaking wet. It's like, what in the world?
Every once in a while, Lily Bell will play with it.
Just chew on it and roll around with it.
It's mostly Shadow
gross.
and Pixel.
Yeah.
We have weird cats.
4-1. 5:43 left in the second. That's a goal for the Carolina Hurricanes.
Next classic sports moment outside to film. Bill Murray swinging the golf club at Flowers from Caddyshack. It's in the hole.
I could swing my hockey. Yeah, there's lots of flowers in the front yard. I could totally do that. There's a lot of flowers in the front yard. I could totally do that. That's a really good idea. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I'll get you a basketball hoop. You won't even care.
Basketball hoop.
I could totally get a basketball hoop for the yard. Because then the kids would play basketball. Okay, Adelaide would go out and play basketball.
Adelaide would play basketball. The boys wouldn't. No, they go outside. They go.
Jakob Slavin? Who's Jakob Slavin? They get mad at me in videos, but I just heard the announcer go, Jakob Slavin. It's Jacob Slavin. What in the world? Jakob Slavin? Suddenly, he's Swedish. Jakob. Jakob's a character from Sex Education. And a good character, too, I might add. Gillian Anderson screwed that up.
Anything new with Buddy the Spider? He lives out.
He's out. I haven't seen a spider in here in weeks, and, he was the one spider. I had wondered if there were multiple. No, he was the one. He was my friend, and he was my Roomba, and now he's gone. Nature's Roomba has been put outside. I feel bad for him.
Thoughts on Tiger King?
It's fantastic and disturbing. He should have been arrested a long time before he was.
Horrible person.
Power play for Carolina. Carolina has a chance with 1:23 left in the second to make this a 2-goal game. Can they do it? And Philadelphia has 4 goals on 9 shots. Which isn't great.
Shannon knows about the article he was interviewed for.
Yes. I knew when it was coming out, and I just didn't promote it on the channel because I don't really do that. I mentioned it in the second news of the day video I did today, which kind of makes it the news of the half day because they're 2 news of the day videos.
It's really cold.
No, it's not.
It is. It's getting colder and colder.
No, it's 20.1 degrees Celsius in here, so you're good. It's getting whinier in here, though. I've noticed that. Yeah, definitely whinier. Yep. You know what I've found? So when I'm into season 6 now of The Office, it's just not funny.
I know.
And that's with Michael still in it. It's just mean.
That's why I stopped watching it towards the end.
They get really mean.
Anymore. Yeah.
Like when Pam finds out Michael's dating her mother, she's just a jerk about it. Like, she's just absolutely horrible. I understand that, like, you wouldn't want Michael to be dating your mother, but holy crap, he should have fired her. She should have been fired for talking to him that way. And he would have been completely in the right to do that. And, yeah, it's shocking how much of jerks these people were on the show as it went along. All right, so 4-1 going into the third period. Carolina's outshot Philly 15-10. So 60% save percentage for the Carolina Hurricanes tonight. And if they lose this series, people are going to be mad at me about how the AI handled the goaltending.
Did Carol Baskin kill her husband?
I don't have enough information to tell me whether she did or didn't. based on the information we have, I lean towards yes. She leans towards no.
Well, I lean towards they are really good at editing those shows to make you think a certain way.
Bear, just put them out.
So I don't make a judgment based on
Shadow, you got to go fight for your self-respect here because you just got put off the tree in front of the internet. You realize that, right? You got put off the tree by a little girl kitty. The smallest cat in the house just put you off the tree. You understand that, right? I don't think he cares.
Is he being a jerk? Yeah, don't worry about him. I know.
Who being a jerk? Me?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Why am I being a jerk? I'm pointing out he's got to fight for himself here.
Do you watch The Masked Singer?
No, I can't be bothered with The Masked Singer. Reality show competitions, for the most part, I really can't be bothered with.
No, I don't like them.
The early seasons of American Idol I enjoyed.
Nope. No.
Some of the so you think you can dance?
The beginning of it, all they do is have people come in so they can make fun of them.
See, but those people that are getting made fun of, they kind of have a warning that they're going to be made fun of.
No, I don't.
I had a friend of mine. I had a friend of mine that went through the screening process.
I didn't find
for Canadian Idol
entertaining.
And they told him he was a good-looking young guy and he was kind of perfect. However, he sang country, and they said we're not looking for a country singer this year. And that was in the screening process before you even get on TV. So the bad singers, while I want to feel really bad for them, for the most part, I think they probably already know they're bad singers. Or somebody's lied to them.
I don't find it entertaining watching people berate others.
There's nothing worse.
Find that entertaining.
There's nothing worse for me than you hear somebody sing and they're just crap, and then somebody will go, "That was great." Then you ask them, "What was that about?" "Well, I don't want to hurt her feelings." You just lied to her. Now she thinks she can sing. It's going to hurt a lot worse when she finds out you're lying. Just tell her she can't sing. Move on.
No.
I always told my kids they weren't talented. It's the best thing you can do for your kids is tell them they're not special and they're not talented. Makes them feel so much better because then they understand the reality of it.
You're a dork. Okay. No fans for sports. We may hear colorful words.
Oh, we hear colorful words now.
We do, yeah.
I honestly, what I'm looking forward to is hearing more from the coaches. I am looking forward to hearing more from goaltenders who are usually running the play from the net. You're going to hear a lot of things pretty darn clearly without fans in attendance. And the camera angles they're going to be able to get are going to be absolutely spectacular. It's the presentation they can do without fans in attendance is going to be amazing. It is really going to be amazing.
Do you watch America's Got Talent?
I did the first couple of years. Again, they just ended up oversaturating the market with that stuff. Carolina really needs to score on this break here. There's Williams with it. It's not a Game 7, though, so he throws it away.
Do you think they should insert crowd noises?
No, that would be really weird and cringy.
Crappy sitcom.
Yeah, that wouldn't work at all. I'm surprised WWE hasn't tried that yet, but yeah, no, I can't see them doing it. Hey, kitty. Hey? What do you think? So Williams takes an obstruction hooking call, probably mad at me because I said he didn't score because it's not Game 7. Sorry about that.
Kane's fourth jersey should be a heather gray with the warning flags as the logo with the black and silver flags like their old jersey had at the bottom of them.
That would be nice. Konechny scores on the power play from Giroux and Couturier. It's 5-1 in favor of the Philadelphia Flyers. Okay, now if I put you back on here, are you going to fight for your...
Did you expect Philly's coaches to work out this well?
I've always liked Vigneault. I knew he would help. I had no idea it was going to be this good. But really, I think all of their management team has been really solid. I didn't necessarily agree with firing Hextall at the time it happened, but I can't argue with the results. The results have been really, really solid for them. So 7:22 left. That'll be the game. I can't see Carolina scoring 4 times on Carter Hart.
You like the WWE. What did you think of the Taker match? It was awesome. I'm a Taker guy.
Oh, the Boneyard match was fantastic. They're selling dirt though from the Boneyard match. So dirt they used on the set for the match. So
weird.
They're selling that. But
that's just
bizarre. It was a great match, and it showed that You can innovate. You can innovate when you're forced to. I think the sporting world's going to have to innovate, and I think some of those innovations, WWE I consider to be sort of the part of that as well. Some of those innovations I think will stick around when fans come back. We may see theatrical style matches after we see wrestling again live.
Is Taker going to wrestle till he's 80?
Sure seems like it. And you can tell in interviews that he kind of figured he was done a few years ago, but he just keeps coming back. He feels like as long as he can get a match out of it, he'll do it. So as long as he can physically do it, he will. But he doesn't have any qualms about quitting. It's just his body hasn't given out on him yet.
Thanks for all the content you've been producing. When, dare I ask, will the wealth payment video come around?
Career videos. I did the Lindros one yesterday. The numbers for the Lindros one was good. The career videos will become a lot more prevalent once one of my other playlists runs out. And I'll try to do a career video every day at that point. Again, it's about pacing myself because we don't know when sports is coming back, whether it's going to be in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year and a half. We have no idea, so I'm just trying to pace myself out. We're 7 weeks into this, whatever this is. And so a wealth payment video will happen. I'm debating about whether I want to do career videos the way that I've been doing the series videos and start with older players and go till now, or do I want to just do a variance? Do I want to do maybe players from a team's history and go through different teams? So yeah, I've got a lot of things to set in line, but it'll happen.
Who's Yvonne's favorite wrestler?
Any guy who has his hair greased back.
No, I was just going to say, not any big greasy guys.
Anybody who has his hair nice and greased back.
That don't have the neck or you're all veiny.
She really likes them greased back.
I don't like the guys. No, I generally prefer women wrestlers. I like the crazy guy. What's his name?
Which one?
The crazy one. The delete.
Oh, Matt Hardy.
Yes, I like him.
Yes, Matt Hardy's fantastic, but he's in AEW now, so he's not in WWE anymore.
Did he ask WWE?
He
just said wrestler.
Your favorite WWE wrestler right now would probably be Bray Wyatt with his family or Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah, he's not horrible.
His funhouses are great. I made you watch all of them.
I don't like most of the men wrestlers.
I made her watch every Firefly Funhouse. Come on, Yvonne, you got to see this.
He did.
Come on, you got to watch this. This is great.
Since Mario Lemieux was number 6 on your Penguins list and he wore number 66, does it mean he should have been drafted by the Devils instead?
See, that would have been a good match. That absolutely would have been a good match, much like Miroslav Shaitan should have played for the Devils at some point, and he didn't, which is wrong, because Shaitan, it's Satan. He just doesn't want it pronounced that way, so he pronounces it Shaitan. Yeah, it's just like my friend at work that everybody called him Dumbass, so he used to pronounce it Dumas, because he thought that made it sound different. It's the same thing. So that would have been great if Lemieux had been a Devil. That would have changed everything if Lemieux had been a Devil. Who knows if Pittsburgh would still be Pittsburgh. So 2-1 series lead for Philadelphia. We're through 3 games. We got 1 left, and it's Toronto and Columbus. Now, here's the problem. Columbus is ahead 2-0. So Toronto has to win this one, or else they're down 3-0 in that series.
Does Yvonne like MJF? Who's that?
MJF is the one in AEW who's really cocky and arrogant. He's the one I told you was flipping the kid off in a lineup. But he's really cocky and arrogant. I think you'd find him entertaining because he lives his character. And so, family asked for a picture with him, so they stood a kid next to him, so he's just standing there. He's just sitting there flipping the bird at the kid while he's glaring at him. And the family made this big, like TMZ tried to make a big deal of it, so the family jumped in on it. But it's like, come on. He's just being his character. This used to not be a big deal. Back in the 80s, I had arguments with wrestlers all the time when I used to go to shows. I was 13, 14. I had wrestlers tell me to go after myself all the time. It wasn't a big deal. It was kind of something that happened. And then everybody got really overly sensitive about that. Wrestlers used to just come to your house and randomly start pushing you around. That was the era. That was the style of the time. Of course, I had an onion on my belt. Anyways.
You're dark. Okay. Could you do a video of the best players at each number?
I've thought about doing that.
I've
looked at it.
Done that though.
That's part of it. Is that it's something that it feels like has been done.
Last year, everybody was messaging asking for that, and it seemed like there was a lot of YouTubers doing that.
I try not to do videos that have been done by everybody else. I try to think outside the box, and I think that's where me being in my 40s is different, because I remember more. I remember all the stuff from the 80s. That's something that I have that a lot of the other YouTubers don't, because most of them are going to be younger than I am. So, yeah. There's a lot of fun ideas out there. We'll see what I end up doing.
Favorite Simpson character?
Smithers is pretty funny. Pretty consistently funny.
What's the series score for them?
This one's 2-0 Columbus. All right, so Toronto's in their throwbacks. Columbus is in their thirds. We'll see how this goes. Columbus at home, up 2-0 against Toronto. My favorite Simpsons character, I lean towards Homer, just because every quote that I have is from Homer.
Shannon does.
I identify with Homer. I quote him way too much, at least once a day. If you watch my hockey videos, I routinely quote Homer Simpson.
True.
Things that happen in everyday life, I go, Homer kind of predicted this, or yeah, Homer was right. Why do I have no money and 3 kids, or why do I have 3 kids and no money? I want no kids and 3 money. That's one of my favorite quotes, and now I have 3 kids and no money. So, that's always been one of my favorites.
No, the kids don't play on the PlayStation because the PlayStation's in here.
PlayStation's down here. And again, the one thing is that if the kids could be trusted not to get up in the middle of the night to go on it, not to go without sleep, not to sneak around.
That will not sleep at all if there are electronics.
We had the PlayStation in the old house in a public common area.
We had it in the living room.
We had it in the living room in the old house, and he would go in and create new users, and he'd be on it all night.
He could hack it.
And it was an absolute pain. It was, because he just wouldn't sleep for days on end.
He can go with no sleep.
There was the one time that you had to go to the hospital, and I went with you, and while we were gone, he created a user on the PlayStation. Like, wow, it's good to know you were really worried about your mother, that she's in the hospital getting oxygen, and you're like, well, that's a good time to be on the PlayStation. So, that's some priorities there. Yeah, score. They're going to be gone for hours. It's time to play some Fortnite.
We have the Wii upstairs.
The Wii's upstairs, and the reason I got a Wii, part of it is because there's no network thing they can do on that's anywhere near what you can with this, and they can't really buy things online on that, which you can on this. Yes. My card's on this.
Yeah.
And I went through that previously. My son, I used to be, oh, that's nice. I'm glad he bought that for himself. Yeah. So, there's reasons that we have the PlayStation down here and the Xboxes in our room.
Are there any NHL teams in trouble if they lose ticket revenue?
Florida's ticket revenues aren't where they get their breaks. Their break is with the lease they have with the building. I think that would hurt. It's going to hurt the entire league because there's so much money generated from revenues through tickets. I think it's like 36%, and so you've got to think that percentage is going to be influenced by places like Toronto, who just scored, Montreal, Chicago, Boston, your original 6, and the fact they generate so much in ticket sales. That's absolutely going to get hit. That's absolutely going to get hit with all this. So that'll negatively impact their ability to make, $11 billion a year. In Toronto's case, they make an exorbitant amount of money. If there's any team that can absorb that hit, it's Toronto. But like Arizona, they were already on life support as it is, so they're definitely not going to be a team that wants to see an extended lockout and shutdown.
We don't mind sharing the ages of our kids. All of our kids have been in videos or pictures of them playing hockey. On this channel, there's like the videos of them doing the Easter egg hunt.
And finding out about Disneyland.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know, when we used to do stuff? When we used to go places?
We have a 7-year-old daughter, and then we have boys that are 13 and 15. Our 15-year-old has autism, so 15, but he's like a
6-year-old.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
I would say 6.
And then Shannon has older ones as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I moved out a while ago.
The first video, the oldest video that still exists on my main channel is of Noah and I out biking.
Oh, okay.
Where we biked along the Vedder River and we crossed the train bridge there.
Yeah, he moved out
almost 3 years ago. It's almost 3 years.
Was that long ago?
July 2017.
27, yeah.
Because it was before we went to Vegas.
That's right.
By at least a year.
That's right.
The channel exploded right after he moved out.
Yeah.
So.
My 13-year-old boy likes the Sharks.
Bam.
They're in Detroit.
Power play.
Yuck. Our kids all like different teams because for some reason they think that's acceptable to like whatever team they feel like.
I don't know where they get that idea. So Toronto gets a power play.
Like
Devon Shore.
Kind of funny.
Shore with the hooking call. Toronto up 1-0. Power play. Can they make it count? They need to win this game or else they're in trouble.
What team has the biggest fan base in your channel? I'm going to get subscribers.
Probably Toronto. Just because of the sheer number of Toronto fans.
Yeah, Toronto. There's a lot of Canucks.
Vegas. And because of the Stanley Cup last year, there's a lot of St. Louis fans still on the channel as well.
That's true.
And then there's the share of Boston fans who are convinced I'm not really a Boston fan, and they try to tell me why I'm not really a Boston fan.
Right. See, I think for comments, I see the most of Canucks.
Yeah, well, it makes sense.
There are a lot
because they know that I live in
right.
BC. So.
And we've met a lot of them.
Yes. And they talk to their friends about it, and yeah.
Right.
Even if a lot of Canuck fans are just there to tell me no.
What is the spare time that you speak of?
Oh, spare time. I remember what that was. That was back when we used to do stuff.
Yeah.
Remember when we used to do stuff?
If you don't have spare time, I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Dubois has 13 points so far in the playoffs. So Toronto's still up 1-0. 3:19 left in the first. And this stream has over 200 people on it.
Do you watch Survivor?
I used to. It's one of the many reality shows that I used to watch, and then I started being suspicious of how real it was and how authentic it was. And those suspicions got stronger and stronger and stronger, and eventually I just couldn't I couldn't do it. And then it just felt really repetitive to me as well. And the repetitiveness got to me, and they kept going back to Boston Rob because he was the best character they'd had on the show. And I thought the fact they had to keep going back to Boston Rob kind of meant they didn't have anybody as memorable as he was. Which, I mean, and fair play, Boston Rob was my favorite guy on the show, but still.
Are you on the Discord?
Discord?
Right? Like right now?
I'm not on there right now. I'm
I
on
had it.
My phone
I was on it earlier, but my phone's off.
Am I supposed to be on it?
So I had it on earlier because I was posting on there that we were on this.
Yeah, I don't think channel. I'm on it right now.
Do you have a prediction on who the final would be in the AEW TNT bracket?
Aren't they building towards Lance Archer against Cody Rhodes? Isn't that the way that they're building towards it? I think they're going to use this to build up Lance Archer as being a big star, and he absolutely could be. I think that AEW's done a very good job with the roster so far. I think there's a lot of really good, talented wrestlers there, and I think that, with the right amount of push coming out of this, once we start getting fans back in attendance, AEW can put up some serious numbers when it comes to both pay-per-view and week-to-week standing or week-to-week shows.
The Discord is the hockey guy. It's in the description of all the videos.
All my hockey videos have it there.
On the hockey guy channel, if you look in the description, it's in those. But it's the hockey guy. And yeah, make sure you read the rules. We're a little bit strict on it. No being an ass. That's the rule. So.
Depends on your point of view. Some people say we're not strict about it at all.
I know.
Say we're not strict enough.
We allow swearing, but we don't allow people being just jerks. So.
True.
Yeah. In your opinion, how does Goldust success in WWE stand? There's a UPS truck.
I have a Goldust shirt. I got a Goldust shirt about a month ago. I think Dustin Rhodes is one of the most underrated wrestlers of his generation.
Why is there UPS truck?
I don't know.
Does he have anything cool? Mine? I don't know. I have fabric from months ago.
I know. See, and your fabric and my jerseys look the same, but I'm pretty sure I'm all done on jerseys.
I have fabric that I was supposed to get months ago, so maybe.
It could be. You want me to go and check?
Everything's taken forever to get up here, and is he still standing there?
Nope. He walked away.
Good.
Right. I'll go take a look. I'll be right back. I'll take a look and see.
Hey, Shannon.
What? It's
Don't
fine.
be a brat.
Married. It's funny.
It's not how this works.
It is though.
No. They ring our doorbell. It's on my phone, so when the doorbell rings, then my phone does the doorbell.
Check, but it's totally yours.
Why would I have something from Sport Check?
Because I ordered you something from Sport Check. Remember they had the $5 T-shirts. Oh, Toronto scored again, 2-0. 2-0 Toronto in Columbus. This is going to be a series that home teams don't win, apparently.
Do you think WWE needs
the
AEW to do well so it can be another Monday Night War, so it can be good again?
Yes.
Watch the cord. Watch the cord, Shannon.
No, you watch the cord.
You watch cord.
I think two healthy wrestling companies is better than one. I think healthy competition is best. WWE's best product was the Attitude Era, which came out when WCW was pushing them. So I think a strong AEW means a stronger WWE, and I think it's better for wrestling fans in general.
What?
All right, so
She's staring at me. Will the NHL
James
finish the regular season or just playoffs? Is this mine?
I'm leaning towards just playoffs. Yep, that was $5 because it's got James Neal's name on the back.
Nice.
So you got that for $5.
$5 shirt, nice.
Yep. There's 3 other ones coming because they were $5. So Sport Check, I'm like, hey, $5 T-shirts, fine, that works. And I got that Hawks hat because it was $5.
Did I ask you the regular season question?
I'm thinking it'll be just straight into the playoffs. I think they'll do some kind of a tournament. I think there'll be 24 teams involved. I think they'll have some kind of a tournament set up. I know Brian Burke is saying 3 rounds of playoffs with just the top 8 involved, but then that makes the trades that involve draft picks kind of, I don't know how you decide that if you're going to do it that way. So we'll see. So yeah, 2-0 Toronto halfway through the second period. Apparently the road is better for Toronto than they were at home.
It's definitely not my birthday. My birthday was canceled this year.
Oh, happy birthday, Yvonne.
Thanks to COVID, it canceled my birthday this year.
I mentioned in a video, and I'm going to say it again here, if you have a birthday or a holiday during the COVID lockdown, it doesn't count. You get 2 next year.
Yeah, I said that at the time. My birthday was totally, it wasn't a birthday at all. It got canceled.
Yep, absolutely.
Nah. Birthday canceled.
So yeah, again, I just got this because it was $5.
Right.
So if it turns out this is a redundant hat, then congratulations, boys. You get a hat because it was $5. That's how my collection works. This is why people are like, how much money does he spend on stuff? Not nearly as much as people think. I'm looking through websites and I go, that's cheap. I'll grab that. And then 5 years later, can't find it anymore, but I got it for dirt cheap. I did that with jerseys too. The most fun thing was I used to get Leafs jerseys, and I used to get them for like $20. And Leafs fans were like, man, I really like that jersey. Where'd you get it? And I was like, oh, I got that after they got knocked out of the playoffs. Turns out it's really cheap, and Toronto's always knocked out of the playoffs. So every year I can get a new Leafs jersey. Savard scored from Foligno and Nyquist to make it 2-1. So I don't make those jokes now. I just think them. I don't make those jokes anymore because I've got a channel. So, but that's what I used to do. I used to just say, because man, you wear a lot of Leafs gear. Yeah, because it's cheap. I can find all kinds of hats and jerseys and T-shirts, and they're cheap. Why is their stuff always cheap? Vancouver stuff doesn't go on sale anymore. So, yeah.
My birthday was on the first day of COVID restrictions here. I can live with 2 next year. I can remember when the lockdown was because Gabriel's birthday was the day before. So that was the last time the kids left the house.
No, Stinger's
terrifying. Because it was Gabriel's birthday. But I also know, like, we didn't go to the store for anything for him, so I felt kind of bad. I think we still did a fun-ish birthday for him, but it was different because everything was closing and we knew we shouldn't be in public much, and I wasn't going to stores or anything.
Right.
My birthday, nah, it didn't happen. It wasn't a birthday, so...
So 2-1, Columbus trying to tie this up. 3:40 left in the second period. Columbus is up 2-0. So again, Toronto has to win this. Nylander gets run over. There's Gerby.
Savard scoring, LOL. Seriously though, great guy. Where did you get your cheap hockey stuff?
The stuff that was just delivered, it's all from Sport Check. Right now is a great time to get the cheap hockey stuff because they're trying to clear out before summer and before the new material shows up. And traded player stuff is going to be on for dirt cheap. Like there's a Senator shirt coming for her that was $5 because it's got Duchesne's name on the back. But she can change it and cut it up if she wants or do whatever she wants with it. And, for $5, that's fine because, it's $5. And then there's 4 shirts altogether that I found for you. They were all in your size, and they were different teams that I know you don't already have.
That's fun.
So
yeah, there's a lot of teams they don't have.
I am thinking ahead. I'm thinking
have, Wild and Jets.
I'm thinking that eventually we won't have to stay home forever, and that eventually we can travel again. And I want to make sure that if we're going to take a trip, that we have shirts and items. Both of us have shirts and items for various teams. Just in case. So we go to the East Coast.
That was the problem going to California. I was like, I don't have anything for my
I had to get her a
team.
Ducks jersey on the way down. That arrived in the mail, and we got it on the way to the airport. So that she had a Ducks jersey for that because she didn't have one. So
I know.
And it was cheap because I got it through Full Moon Jerseys for $15.
Because women's jerseys are freaking
women's jerseys
cheap.
on Full Moon Jerseys are dirt cheap. And they're all Reeboks, and they're
Sometimes
they're
they
good.
don't have my size though.
Well, true. All right, so 2-1, Toronto going into the third period. Can Toronto hold the lead and win this game?
Thanks for the information, Shannon.
No problem. This is a good time though for buying stuff.
Our lockdown started March 16th. Didn't matter to me. I was already at home on workers' comp with a broken ankle. Ours really started the 13th. But that was the last day of school before spring break.
Although it's still not technically locked down.
No, we are not on lockdown here. But
people are just staying home.
Yeah, we don't.
I know that drives some
stay
people nuts, but
here.
we're just staying home. Most people are just staying at home. It's just better.
But they're telling us to go outside and go on walks.
No, I'm not doing that.
And
no,
stuff like
there's bugs outside. I'm not going outside. There's bugs and sunlight.
We don't have much sunlight. What are you talking about?
There's like
we don't have that
nature.
problem.
Nature can screw itself. I'm not going out into nature.
Shannon, could you please give your administrative assistant a raise? Everyone could use a little help.
I don't know. She's been really kind of ornery lately, and she hasn't been keeping up with her TPS reports, and I think it's really important that she gets her TPS reports in, and I don't think she's taking it too seriously when it comes to the TPS reports. So if you could go ahead and come in tomorrow, because we let some people go and got kind of behind.
Okay. Do you like the Leafs goal song? It's his favorite.
Oh, no, it's
very favorite.
It's ridiculous. And then when they have a game where they're scoring goal after goal after goal, I'm like, oh, come on, knock it off. It doesn't end. Never goes away. Their best song was Out of Touch. That was their best song. I don't understand why. Why not just do Your Kisses on My List? It's just as ridiculous. It's just as ridiculous.
Did you know there's a new cover sheet on the TPS report?
See, I was telling her about the new cover sheet on the TPS. Did you get that memo?
Yeah.
Because we had a memo. Did you get the memo?
Yeah,
I'll make sure that you get a memo. I'll talk to HR to make sure you get the memo.
Dork. Okay.
Can't call me that.
Mom says Elvis' contract in arbitration would have been worth a lot more than what he gave him. Any thoughts? I know it's a small, very sporadic, and unstable sample size. Elvis is 1 year less.
You are running a very, very dangerous game if you go to arbitration. There have been arbitration awards that teams have walked away from. There have been arbitration awards that teams accept, and then they can't wait to get rid of the guy. And arbitration hearings often get kind of ugly because as a team you're saying we don't think he's worth what he should get, and the player is turning to me and going, I think he's being cheap because. And we're hearing each other say this in real time, and it's not a good environment. So any time that you can avoid arbitration is the best time to avoid arbitration.
Does Cam Talbot stay in Calgary?
He wants to. They asked him about that. He does want to stick around. I don't think there's any harm in him sticking around for another year. Wolf's not ready, so there's no harm in keeping him. I like Riddick, but that's the thing. I like Riddick. I think Riddick's a good goaltender. So I'm admitting a little bit of a bias in favor of Riddick. I think he has a little bit of everything to his game, and I think he'll just get better. Toronto trying to add to their lead, still 2-1, third period.
Do you like the Islanders' goal song? What's their goal song?
Yes, I'm trying to remember, but yes. I know I really like Philadelphia's. Philadelphia's might be one of my favorites. Although Dallas's is pretty excellent too, but yes, I like the Islanders' goal song. I'm trying to remember, but I know I like it because it's been over a month since there was hockey, so it all kind of fades.
No.
It starts to fade. I'm not used to going this long without something from hockey.
Been a month and a half.
Usually when it's a month since hockey, we've had the draft, we've had free agency, and now there's just nothing.
Yes, is this song.
They're not the only one that uses that, I don't think. I don't think they're the only one that uses that. I'm trying to think of who else uses that. There's another team that uses that for their goal song, because I looked up goal horns one day because I got bored, and I'm pretty sure they weren't the only one that uses that, because it's the crowd chant.
Do you like the Hurricanes' goal song, Raise Up?
Yes, but I would imagine that if they used Brass Bonanza, there'd probably be more people that would like that. That was the Hartford Whalers' goal song. I think they do well. I also like
Minnesota.
Minnesota uses it. See, I knew there was more than one team that uses it. So goal to tie it up. Columbus makes it 2-2. Harrington from Foligno and Nyquist. See, you mentioned Savard and said LOL, and now Harrington has a goal as well. But yeah, goal songs are kind of, it's one of those things people want me to rank, and I don't really have a rank system other than there's certain ones that one's okay.
This
like
song's annoying.
Philadelphia's fantastic, and when you score against Chicago and they play, I think it's Eulogy by Tool, that's perfect. Eulogy by Tool is absolutely perfect when the other team scores. That is, he had a lot of nothing to say. That's perfect. That's fantastic.
Among Canes fans, they'd pick Raise Up over Brass Bonanza.
Oh, I can imagine. It's just that hockey fans in general, I think, miss Brass Bonanza because people miss the Hartford Whalers, which is not Carolina's fault.
How about goal horns? Yeah.
I just don't have much of an opinion on them. I really don't. Other than the ones that aggravate me, I don't really have an opinion on them.
Boring.
They can be kind of... I know, I've seen like rankings of 1 through 30, and I've been like,
silly.
I don't know. And then there were a couple they have near the bottom, and I'm like, why is that near the bottom? That's not bad.
Because you have to have something at the bottom, and they're all just horns of different sounds. That's the horn of a train. That one's a horn of a boat. That one sounds like a fire engine.
I know with Columbus, I know with the cannon. The cannon's fantastic. And it scares players because it's a real cannon, too. And it's supposed to be really loud. So if I ever go to Columbus for a game, I want to make sure I'm not near the cannon. I'm just saying straight out, I don't want to be near the cannon. Because the problem is if I'm near the cannon, then I'm hoping that Columbus gets shut out, which is a terrible message to send when you're sitting in Columbus and you're really happy that you're there. You're like, I really hope they lose and that it's a shutout. Because I don't want this thing right behind my head to go off. So, yeah.
They don't do it in the area there, though.
No,
right?
I mean, it's on the
Out in
concourse, but still, I don't want to be near it. I want to be as far away from it as possible.
I'll own up, Shannon. When I watch Harrington and Savvy play almost 82 times a year and expect about 4 goals in between them, can you blame me?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jack.
Oh, yeah. And that's part of the reason why the sim engine on these is always kind of There's always players that score points and goals that you go, really? And then there's other players that struggle that it's baffling. Like in the first round of this, Connor McDavid was invisible against the Flames for like 4 games. And, yeah, I can't see that actually happening in playoffs.
There's a bunch of people that like the cannon. The noise comes from the rafters, not the actual cannon. It's
Okay,
ridiculously loud, but it's such a nice sound to hear.
I see. I don't think ridiculously loud and nice sound go together for me.
No, I don't like loud, so...
Unless it's a sonic boom.
I don't
If
like
it's a
loud,
sonic
no.
boom from a jet, yes. And I hate that there's noise complaints and there's noise ordinances now that they're not allowed to do it. Because in Chilliwack growing up, when the snowbirds would come in, the snowbirds would let us know they were there by buzzing the army base. So they'd fly over the army base and then they'd hit the afterburners so you wouldn't hear them coming in, and then they'd make sure that sonic boom happened right over top of the army base and it would shake everything in the house.
Yep.
And it was freaky, but it was awesome because then you'd hear the jet engines and you'd go out and you'd see them flying straight up. Oh, it was just great. And then they weren't allowed to do it anymore. Too many people complained because they're whiny wussy
I
pants.
can remember hearing them until I was...
Overtime. Power play for the Leafs.
I was about 8 years old when they stopped doing that, I'm thinking.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yeah. Do you watch Disney Plus?
She does.
I love Disney Plus. They're
Trip and
great.
call against Foligno. He can order pizza while he's in there.
The kids love their the animal ones that they just put up a bunch of animal ones. They love those. Like, they're educational, but they're funny. They do a good job of those.
All right, so Toronto with a power play. If they score here, they're down 2-1 against Columbus. If Columbus wins, it's a 3-0 series lead for them.
Steve. Yvonne, would you want to be a teacher?
Save.
Actually, I have a teaching degree.
She is a teacher.
I am indeed. I have a bachelor's.
Is that why you have a meter stick in our room? I've been meaning to ask you about that, but I didn't know what that was for, or... Then you've got that little outfit thing there too. But I don't know what.
Shannon.
So she leaves the house, and I don't know where she's going or what she's doing.
Okay, stop.
And when I ask, she just tells me to shut up, like this. So I'm not allowed to ask.
No,
but
okay.
she leaves the house and she gets all flustered when I bring it up. So I don't know what's going on. I mean, with revenues being down, I'm not in a place to say anything. I'm really not.
Shannon, okay.
I'm not in a place to say anything. I can't judge. I can't judge.
Shut it.
So,
okay.
She might not want me to talk about it, so I won't. My friend Michael Bublé doesn't want me to talk about him either. So.
Will you go on the Steve Dangle podcast?
I mentioned earlier in the live stream, I did reach out to him. We'll see what we can work out, but yeah, it'll very likely happen. Overtime, Toronto and Columbus. Can Toronto make the series 2-1, or will Columbus make it 3-0? That shot just misses high.
You're such a dork, Shirts. An OnlyFans account.
You should have an OnlyFans account.
No.
I have a friend that has one of those online, and I'm not going to sign up to support her that way. So yeah, no, because that's no.
My students are children. They call me Mum. Yeah.
Was that a save? Did he stop that, or did that miss the net?
Usually they call me, "Hey, Mum." Hey, you.
Oh God! Every morning when you go upstairs.
Hey, Mom.
You start going upstairs first thing in the morning, and it's
not
immediate.
even
They're
up
all
the stairs. Holy crap, Mom! And then
to quote Clerks 2.
You already have my attention.
To quote Clerks 2, I haven't even put my purse down yet.
Yes.
That's a yes.
Not even up the stairs. Just chill.
We need to watch Clerks 2.
All three of them.
We really need to watch Clerks 2. I haven't watched Clerks 2 in a while.
Is my schoolwork right? I don't know. I haven't looked at it. Oh my gosh. All the time. All day long. So, no.
There's so many things I love with Clerks 2, and absolutely none of them I can actually mention in a live stream.
Shannon thinks he's pretty funny, too.
I don't think no, not really. I asked myself about that, I was pretty sure.
He definitely entertains himself.
Well, you have to entertain yourself when you're an only child. I grew up an only child, so you kind of have to get used to that. That was so what I thought
with that, the dorky video you did the other day.
Wow, power play for Toronto.
The NHL doesn't want you to know. That would be signs that Shannon was an only child.
Oh, yeah.
That was him down in the basement, totally entertaining himself. And
well, no, I wasn't. I lived in a trailer park. Get it straight.
But so living today, you're down in the basement. So you're down in the basement, just making yourself laugh. Just look. Hey, you know what I said?
Okay, what's your point? What's your point?
Mama. Okay. Our 15-year-old thinks that's the funniest thing ever.
I can't even quote it upstairs because he goes nuts about it.
Where he got it from.
It's all over the internet.
Never watched that show.
That's all over the internet. You don't need to watch the show. It's everywhere online.
Holy crap. You have to knock it off or I'm going to smack you. And he knows I won't, of course. And he's like, Mom, Mama, Mommy, Mama, Mom, Mama. Oh, yeah. It's obnoxious.
It is funny, though, when you watch the show. You would have thought it was funny, too.
My mom has showed me, because she thinks it's hilarious.
It is. The episode I need to get you to watch with me is the one where Stewie kidnaps the entire cast of Star Trek Next Generation. It's really funny, and it's not a Family Guy episode. It's all the Next Generation cast squabbling. It's all the Next Generation cast squabbling with each other. It's really funny. Because they want ice cream. And Stewie's like, you don't need ice cream. Well, if he's getting ice cream, I'm getting ice cream. No, we're not getting ice cream. And then they all fight like they're little kids. It's really funny. And it's the baby telling them no.
All right. I feel bad for teachers. Most schools are underfunded.
Yes.
They absolutely are.
Yes. Teachers are underfunded. And because unions get vilified the way they do, it's always portrayed that they're selfish when they're just trying to provide the level of education the kids need.
Wait, what do we agree on? Me and Yvonne actually agree on something. You mean we don't agree
Family
on
Guy.
Everything?
Probably Family Guy.
Well,
there you go.
I'm right.
Columbus makes it a 3-0 series with 5:03 left in the first overtime.
Crap, because that show is terrible.
Toronto had a lead, and Columbus comes back. They win this in first overtime. It almost went to a second. And Columbus is up 3-0. They can end this at home in Game 4. Wow, I didn't see that one coming. Now, because we did this on Entertainment Guy...
These people are way too excited.
Because I did this on Entertainment Guy, that means I have to do another Hockey Guy video after, rather than doing the Entertainment Guy video I was going to do. Now it's Hockey Guy, and I've got the new board. So with the giant new board that I've got here... See how big this board is? It's 40 by 30 inches. So it's 4 inches wider and 4 inches taller than the other ones. So, yeah. Well, or 6 inches taller and 4 inches wider. So, all right. There you go. Columbus wins. They go up 3-0. Columbus is 1 game away from round 3, where they could end up playing against the Philadelphia Flyers.
Do you watch Canadian TV shows? Of course.
She does. You watch them more than I do.
I do, because
You like Murdoch. And
there's a lot of Canadian shows.
And with
I generally prefer them over American shows.
For me, it's just Letterkenny. For me, it's Letterkenny.
I prefer the humor on Canadian shows than American shows.
Yes, no, I agree with that.
Flash, all those there's so many Canadian shows that Americans have no idea are Canadian shows.
Oh, I was watching the new episode of Flash this week, and they filmed it right down next to Rogers. So I had to call her in and go, look where they're driving, and you could see it was right down at the arena.
Street.
They even didn't make sure that the colors around the side weren't the Canucks colors. You could see the blue and green, and I'm like, yeah, that's the Canucks arena. So
Rogers.
All right, Central City. Sure, it's Central City. And then the funny thing was too, when the way they cut it together, you could tell the background didn't match. So he's going around this corner, but then where he ended up
Now
around
he's
that corner
over
was the
there.
wrong street. Then he's on this street, and I'm like, okay, those streets aren't the same. Why is he over there? And now he's over here.
He's turned the corner.
And then he went 2 blocks, and when he turned that corner, it was the corner he'd been at 2 blocks earlier. And I was like, man, this is just way too easy to tell.
Circles.
And then he crashes the car, and I said, well, that's the parking lot that's right there, right next to the arena. So
where they do Cirque du Soleil.
yeah, so it was interesting, and that's one of the reasons I like to watch Flash and those shows is because they're filmed, like Legends of Tomorrow is filmed around here too. The 100, I had to laugh at the season finale of 100. I think it was season 3's finale, where it was raining, and they had to have some kind of a computer reason it was raining, and I'm like, you filmed this outside of the museum in Vancouver. It's raining because you filmed it in Vancouver. Like, most of the show, I think, is filmed around Squamish, so I could see that being less rainy. But once you go into Vancouver to do city filming, that's where you're going to get more rain than I think you would get at Squamish.
Think so?
A little bit. I don't think Squamish gets it as bad as Vancouver.
They get more snow.
They get more snow and it's colder, but I would think that they would get less rain because the valley and the city get the most rain.
Hopefully Yvonne is cool with South Park. That depends. Some of it goes too far for me. Some of it's funny, some of it's too much. Yeah. Who is Letterkenny?
Really?
The most Canadian show that
Letterkenny is absolutely fantastic. We went to see them live when they were touring.
The most, Canadian.
And it is the most Canadian show. That and Trailer Park Boys are most Canadian.
Is not for kids.
But Letterkenny would be
at all.
To me even more Canadian than Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah.
It is
very not for kids though.
Letterkenny, you can pick out which character. I remember one of the guys I worked with that he was behind on the show and the guys were like, oh man, you are this character, and he goes, which character? And they're like, you'll see it, and he's like, it's not Stuart, is it? It's not Stuart. And then when Stuart goes to pick up Katie, and he's driving that crappy car. It's the exact same car that our friend at work had, and he comes in the next day, he's like, damn it, I'm Stuart. I can't believe I'm Stuart. I'm a skid. And they're like, you're Stuart. We told you were Stuart.
Stuart's great.
So,
Raul's my favorite. Raul's great.
Well, then they went to the Weekend, but it wasn't the Weekend, so...
Oh, no. That was funny.
We're going to go on the Weekend, but it's not the Weekend.
Weekend.
It's not the Weekend. What are you talking about, Stuart? So.
Do you like corner gas? Yes.
Yes, of course. Corner Gas is, like I was telling her, I had a Corner Gas jersey when I met her that I got through their site. Just Dog River Dogs. I don't think I have it anymore. I think I gave it away. But it was a fun show. It was a really fun show. I have Brent's sense of humor.
I thought you still had that.
If I do, it's in storage.
Yeah, I don't think you.
But I have Brent's sense of humor. The way Brent talks to people is kind of the way I talk to people. I totally understand Brent in that show. The way that while people are saying things that are kind of stupid, he'll call them out on it, but he does it in such a way with the sarcasm that they may miss it. And I've done that at many jobs I've had and family gatherings and school. And you're in trouble if you do that around a bully and they figure it out. Where you say something that they're kind of dumb and they go, hey, I understood that. Oh, crap. All right, well, I'm going to get beat up now, so...
Prove that you're Canadian and say the word spelled Garage.
Garage.
Are there different ways to pronounce that?
Well, if you're in Boston, it'd be garage. Garage?
Yeah, I was like, how do you pronounce that different?
Isn't it garage? Isn't it garage if you're British? I think.
I have no idea.
I think it's garage, but it's garage.
I don't know. I know there's a lot of words we do pronounce different.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know
we don't think
garage
of it.
was one of them.
No. But
I know there's other words we pronounce different.
Yeah. All right, so we went around the horn. We did game 3s. We'll do game 4s the next month. That'll be on the main channel on Saturday. So I'll figure this out. If I have to take this PlayStation and fling it out the window and get another one, I'll do that. I'll just have to tell Yvonne I didn't do it because she doesn't want me spending money like that on a PlayStation we may not need. But yeah. So, or we may need, then we'd have 2 of them. Anyways, thank you guys so much for all your support. It means a ton. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through and you happen upon this. And remember, if you're from the Hockey Channel and you don't subscribe to this channel, I upload videos on here daily as well. I've got into the habit of doing daily videos on this channel as well. So a lot of content all around, and making sure I'm providing a varying content. So thank you guys so much for helping me be able to do that.
So
And
now they're talking about how to pronounce things.
Garage. Oh, garage. Yeah, I think that's in the States. Yeah, garage.
He says a true Canadian says garage.
No, garage.
I've never heard anybody pronounce it that way.
No.
A boot. Nobody says a boot.
Nobody says a boot.
It's closer to a boat. It's a boat.
It's a boat.
It's Zed.
It is definitely Zed. I do sometimes say Z, but that's partly
just
because
of the channel.
And
definitely Zed.
I mentioned in a video today that I was told to start doing the American way of doing things when I was writing books, because in terms of spelling, the American way is considered to be the official way to spell if you're publishing books in North America. So I took all the U's out of everything. So are we all caught up?
Yes, so it's
all
Zed.
Right. All right.
It's
anyways,
how you say the last letter of the alphabet.
Right.
It's a Z.
W, X,
not
Y,
a
and
D,
Z.
because then there's B, C, D, E, G. There's all the letters that sound the same. The last letter of the alphabet is a Z.
Right.
And anybody...
Canada, we say it as Z just to be dicks. Let's be honest.
It's
we just do it
everybody
that way
but
just
the
to be
United
dicks.
States.
Yeah,
It's kind of like imperial units.
we started it.
It's everybody else.
Don't listen to her. We started it.
It's just Americans decided, I'm not going to call it that. We're going to call it Z.
Anyways.
We want it to rhyme with half of the alphabet.
Thanks again for coming out, and we will do this again soon. Who knows? Maybe I'll do a Sims live stream on the Hockey Guy at some point and watch people lose their minds. Anyways, thanks again, and we'll talk to you again soon.